Good morning. Good morning. We back. Another week, another episode, Man to Man Podcast. I'm one half. I'm AB. Got my guy D Butt in the Thunderdome. What it do, my guy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back in the Thunderdome. What is this? Week 7?
Week 6.
Okay, week 7. Week 6. Overreaction Monday. Still not quite. It is what it is Monday yet, but back in the building once again after a great Sunday slate of football. Obviously got Monday Night Football coming up tonight, but glad to be back, man. Glad to be here. A lot to talk about.
Yeah. It's Overreaction Monday, like D Butt said. So we are going to be doing maybe some overreacting to some teams, some players, to some performances. But like my guy said, it's a good way to start your week off, man. How was your weekend?
Weekend was great. Spent some time with the family, got some golfing, and obviously got a lot of football and a little bit of basketball. We'll talk about a little bit of women's basketball on the college side and the pro. The finals going on right now. But yeah, really good weekend. Glad to get this football week back started. What about you? How was your weekend? How was your game?
It was good, man. Game was good. We're gonna touch on that a little bit. On the other side, they able to come back, like you said, spend some time with the fam yesterday.
Yep.
Watch a little bit of ball and get ready for the week, man. So as always, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us. We appreciate y'all joining us live. We got the comment section. Please interact with us, man, so we can, ask some good questions so we can, we can answer those questions for y'all.
Yep.
But other than that, we're going to catch y'all on the other side.
Let's get it.
Yeah, we talking.
You are now tuned in to the Man to Man Podcast. Starring Darius Butler.
They don't want to see us. Man to man.
And
They don't
Antoine
know how to
Bethea.
beat us. Man to man.
Now we talking.
Man to man.
Presented by FanDuel.
Man to man.
Man to Man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Again, man, shout out to our guy, Yoko. We're going to have him on the show here soon. He's out here doing his thing. But let's get right into it, man. WNBA Game 3. Aces at the New York Liberty, man. New York Liberty was able to pull this one out, 87-73. The Aces now lead this series 2-1. I wasn't able to catch any of this game, but I know that a lot of people were expecting or anticipating the Las Vegas Aces to go ahead and run away with this thing.
Yep.
New York able to pull one out, man, and keep this series going.
Yeah, found a way to get a win at home. Like you said, a lot of people expected the Aces to sweep them and go back-to-back. The first 2 games weren't very competitive down the stretch. Big injury for the Las Vegas Aces going forward. Chelsea Gray, their star point guard. She looked like she was in a bunch of pain. I didn't get a follow-up to see exactly what the injury was, but based on her reaction on the sidelines and in the tunnel, it looked like it's a pretty significant injury. So I think she'll be out for the foreseeable future for the Aces. Obviously, the Aces still got a bunch of talent, still can close this thing out, but New York Liberty got a lot of talent over there as well, so they found a way to hold down home court. It looked like a pretty good crowd, packed crowd. You can see here Liberty took care of business, but pretty much a closeout game. If the Aces get one more, they can get back-to-back chips, man. So it'll be a big one next time these two face off.
Nah, for sure, man. Again, though, we talked about it, just the scheduling of these games, not the best. I think this game started around 2 or 3 o'clock Eastern time. And that's right in the heart of the 1 o'clock game. So again, they're obviously going against some difficulty on the scheduling aspect, but
sure,
good stuff by the Liberty, being able to stretch this thing up, pause, with this game. And on that pause, man, we're gonna have a video of this past weekend of somebody on TV going crazy. I already know Cam and Mace over there. It is what it is. I already know they're gonna touch on it, go crazy with this one. But
sure.
Also in the WNBA, Golden State decided to bring in an
Yeah.
expansion team, man. I think it's good for the business, man. It's good for the business. Obviously, one of the things we always talked about with the WNBA is just more notoriety and just really trying to. It's going to be tough to level to play with the NBA just because of the status of the NBA, how long it's been around. But the women, man, they're doing the thing, expanding their game. Obviously, our producer Tone, his daughters are heavy into the basketball, so obviously, for the young women coming up, the young ladies coming up is good. It's good for the game. Good for the game. What's your thoughts on this?
Great for the game. I believe 2025. This should be come to fruition. But this is awesome for the women's game, for the game of basketball in general. Obviously, basketball has been one of those games that's played pretty much around the world, and a lot of our homegrown women and young ladies have had to go overseas and play a lot and have really grueling schedules and not really have an off season like they deserve. So hopefully continue to grow the eyes, continue to grow the game, more teams, more opportunities for players, and that they could just play here in the WNBA and it continues to be the best league in the world. And then they can have real off season stuff. But this is awesome for the WNBA. I'm sure there'll be some other teams as well that pop up in different locations. Hopefully, so yeah, just keep watching, keep talking about it, and keep enjoying it. It's an entertaining brand of basketball. I know they get a lot of hate, a lot of trolls on Twitter and the internet, and trust me, I done been on the floor with a lot of these young ladies.
Getting cooked.
Yeah, I'm a little older, I'm a little washed now, so not a lot of them that's playing right now, but a lot of these young ladies, and yes, getting cooked.
Yeah,
I'm on too, but yeah.
Now it is some good basketball. It is a good brand of basketball. When you talk about fundamentally sound, where just a lot of the fundamentals that you learn in the game, I think it's a real good brand of basketball. So that's good to see.
Absolutely.
Staying with the women's game, now I got some things with this, right? So it was
let's celebrate it first.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely gonna celebrate it. New attendance record. 5,646 in attendance for NCAA women's basketball game. That's huge.
Crazy.
That's huge right here. You see just some pictures of the game.
That one up top, crazy. That shit hard.
Yeah, you gotta
Caitlin Clark, that picture up there.
Yeah. That's Caitlin Clark. You gotta. And again, outside, in the football stadium is I like it. But wonder why they decided not to go with the placement of the court on the 50-yard line versus that end of the field.
You know what? I don't think it matters where they put this court. Based on, I would assume this stadium probably holds about around 80,000. Not sure. We could probably look that up, but around 80. So if they put it there, maybe they put everybody in the lower bowl. But it's tough. It's tough to hold to for it to be a good viewing experience. Honestly, from whoever took this picture, wherever they're sitting, if you're up in that upper deck, that's tough. It's tough sometimes to watch a football game from some of these angles. So. Definitely a basketball game. Amazing feat. I believe this is the largest crowd for any women's basketball game. And we saw it with the Nebraska women's volleyball team. I think they had like 90-something thousand in the football stadium to watch their game. So once again, just awesome for the growth of the women's game. But they also had Caitlin Clark in there too. So anytime you get a chance to watch her play basketball, it's a good thing. Now playing the game, I'm sure outside. You in the stadium, windy. It's in the Midwest, maybe a little chilly, and then even the depth perception from the rims and stuff. So shout out to these ladies, playing this game.
Yeah, I mean, shit, that's how we used to do it growing up anyway. Shit, outside, regardless of what the weather conditions were for the most part. We outside getting it in. But again, if you're able to see this full view picture. Looking at the screen, to your right, it's some people down there that's I know they're not seeing a damn thing. They just happy to be in the building. What you doing today? Shit, we're gonna go to that hour game they got at the stadium. They just happy to be in the building. So
Facts.
again, man, it's a great feat for our women basketball. So salute to them, man. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Absolutely. But yeah, they ain't see nothing down there. Jumbotron, straight Jumbotron action.
Let's get into this football, man, because we got a lot of good shit to talk about, man. I'm gonna start off with my game this weekend. Shaw at Winston-Salem State. Week 7 for
Come on,
Shaw.
Shaw.
Say it again.
I said, come on, Shaw. Shit.
Shaw, yeah. It's been a tough one with Shaw, man. They're on they start quarterback got hurt first game of the year, collarbone. Fell on his collarbone, broke. I'm not sure if he broke it, but he was dressed up this weekend. Thought we would see him. I just think that's what it's been missing for Shaw this year, just that quarterback play. So again, Winston-Salem, led by Coach Robert Massey. He's an NFL vet, played in the league 8 years. Another HBCU alum. Coach that's coming back and coaching the HBCU guys on the HBCU landscape. So shout out to Coach Massey and what he's doing over there. Put up some good numbers against Shaw. Shaw, if you remember earlier in the season, Shaw is the first HBCU in the South.
Yep.
So they have a lot of history. They added more history. India Pulfus, young lady. She's a kicker for Shaw University. She's the first female to kick for Shaw University and in the CIAA conference. So she's making history. I think this year I think she's like 3 from 4.
Okay.
So she's out there doing her thing. She also plays soccer. She runs track. So she's an athlete, man. So week 7 for us over at HBCU Go, man. It's been a hell of a ride. Good weekend, and that's how I kick my Saturday off this week.
Yes, sir. Shaw, we got to get together, Shaw. Got to get the big dub.
Got to. So let's kick it off. Haven't seen you guys since last Monday, and since then we Thursday night football. Denver Broncos at Kansas City. That shit seems so long ago.
Yes, sir, I know.
Kansas City was able to get a dub. Denver Broncos, we were talking about their defense, how the defense wasn't playing like they played last year, holding this Kansas City offense to 19 points, even with Kansas City not being as high-powered as they have been in the past. We talked about Coach Bieniemy leaving, being OC over there at Washington Commanders. Could that be some type of effect? But Kansas City hasn't been clicking on that side of the ball like we thought they would. Denver being able to hold them to 19. But again, there's no love in playing well or playing better. Denver Broncos still caught that L. What you think about their performance and even Kansas City performance?
Yeah, tough, man. Defensively, on both sides of the ball with both of these squads, I think defense played pretty good. We talked about the Broncos and all the issues. Shoot, a lot of things would show they're on pace to be historically one of the worst defenses ever coming into this one. I think they kind of stepped up to the challenge with this Kansas City offense, did pretty well. Like you said, only giving up 19 points. Andy Reid, I think at times tried to get a little too tricky, a little too cute with some things. But anyway, they took care of business. And then on the flip side, this Chiefs defense has been dominant all year long. And the Russell Wilson and the offense, they've had their ups and downs. Had a little pregame spat over there with Jerry Judy and Steve Smith. Jerry Judy it's been reported he's on the trading block along with some other guys. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But it's ugly right now for Sean Payton in this Denver Broncos team right now. We know Russell Wilson's going to be there based on his contract alone. We assume Sean Payton's going to be there at least for another year after they hired him and fired Hackett last season in the middle of the year. But not looking good at all. You watch this game, the play calling looked like it stinks. Russell Wilson looked like he stinks at certain times. And it's just guys just not getting open, making plays, man. It was ugly for the Broncos, and I think what do they fall to 1-5 now?
Yeah. So
Ugly.
it's safe to say there's no overreaction. You hit the panic button on the Denver Broncos. It's ugly for them, right?
It's ugly. It is what it is. They stink. They're in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. Well, or Drake May sweepstakes right now.
So there you have it. Okay, so you mentioned something, right? You touched on something. Steve Smith, Hey, Judy, I know you touched on this via X, and you kind of talked about it like, Jerry Judy, he's a Florida boy. He ain't going to go for the BS or whatever the case may be. Steve Smith, how do you feel about that situation? Steve Smith said some things about Jerry Judy previously. Called him a jag, just a guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I feel as though, honestly, Steve Smith, if you know who Steve Smith is, he's going to wear it on his sleeve. He's not going to bite his tongue. I think, people respect that. We don't get a lot of that now in today's world. If we do get it, we call it hate. But, Steve Smith said what he said about Jerry Judy, about his play, about where he was drafted, X, Y, and Z. He said that, he tried to go to Jerry Judy and say, I apologize for some of the things that I've said in the past. Blase, blah. Jerry Judy, like most of us, if you see somebody talking shit about you, gonna be like, look, man, fuck out my face, man. I don't fuck with you, man. Like, go ahead with that. Cool. Steve Smith got on camera, said what he said. How do you feel about that on both sides, Jerry Judy and Steve Smith?
So just like you said, both of us right now, we sit in the chair. We're in the media now. We're part of sports media, so we're analysts. We talk about what we see on the field. We give our opinion on it. Sometimes it may come off as hate to some people. I think, the way that we do it, it doesn't the most part, because I think it's real honest. But once again, once we put those public opinions out there about people and you see them, some people going to take that shit personal, just like we did. We were in those uniforms and had that helmet on, whether it was a former teammate of ours or a former opponent of ours, and they get to me, Darius Butler, he's a guy with attacking coverage, or he's not having a good year, or blah, blah. Whether it's truth or not, that's how you feel. Cool. Jerry Judy, they saw each other in person. I don't know what exactly the interaction was. We obviously heard Steve Smith's side of it. He tried to, hey, yo, whatever. Hey, I don't rock with you. Keep it moving. So then he got pissed off, went on camera. So I get it from both sides. I get how Judy feels. Also get Steve Smith doing his job. Not a big fan of Smitty kind of, I guess, going at him even more afterwards. Now, I understand he was, in his feelings, I guess, because he felt like, hey, look, I'm a receiver. I'm one of the OGs. I'm doing my job, blah, blah, blah. Once again, young boy didn't take it that way. And then, it was a little extra theatrics afterwards. I think that was kind of the Florida boy in him coming out. Now, I would like to see him go out and have, 7 for 165. But once again, we talked about Sean Payton. We talked about Russell Wilson. So it wasn't much yardage out there for anybody to get. So I get it from both sides of it, with Jerry Judy, with Steve Smith. I think they were both, I guess, right in how they do things. That's how Steve Smith goes about his business. And obviously this is how Jerry Judy goes about his now. I'll be interested to see if Jerry Judy gets in a better situation and see if he can reach those expectations that he had coming in as a first-round pick. But I had no problem with it from either side of it. And my tweet was just putting it out there like, hey, this is basically how I see it. Smitty doing his thing as an analyst, Jerry Judy feeling some type of way as a person before you're a player. People say, hey, don't take it personal. I'm just doing, that's you talking about me out there. So I get it from both sides.
Yeah.
What about you? How you feel about it though? How you feel about that?
Nah, I mean, I have the same sentiments that you have. Again, like you said, being a former player, you see somebody talking about you in not so positive way. Yeah, you gonna feel some type of way. Like you said, yeah, I am gonna take that personal. I know Coach used to always say, "Don't take it personal. I'm just talking to number 41." But guess who number 41 is? It's me, Antoine Bethea. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to take that shit personal somehow, a little bit. But again, man, I agree with both sides. I feel like I think somebody said this. I don't know if it was Chad or Chad Ochocinco, but it was like, the delivery sometimes can come off, harsh. You know what I mean? and being married, sometimes I get that as well. Like the message is clear, but sometimes the delivery makes the person that you're talking to go another way or whatever the case may be.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. So I mean, again, both passionate guys. I think both, two good receivers. Steve Smith definitely with the baller, doing his time. Jerry Judy, man, just gotta get to a place where he can show his talent. And it's just rough over there. It's rough over there in Denver.
It's rough over there for everybody. Not what they expected these last 2 seasons. If you're a Denver Broncos fan, for sure.
At all. But on to the next. We got starting off our Sunday slate: Baltimore Ravens, Tennessee Titans. Two teams that's up and down right now, I would say. To the up and down right now. Baltimore was able to get this win. Lamar, decent game. Again, the defense. You talking about Roquan Smith and company on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
Again, playing some really good ball. I would say that defense, that Baltimore style of defense that you see. Tennessee Titans. I'm about to start. It's not looking good over there. You got D-Hop over there. D-Hop didn't have many targets, didn't have many catches.
D-Hop made this decision. He knew what he was signing up for.
He definitely did. Like I'm not sure what brand of tequila or what yak he had when he was sitting down with his agent making his decision. But in my eyes, it was not a small one, not an informed one at that point, at that juncture. But thoughts on this game, man?
Yeah. So big injury coming out of this one. Ryan Tannehill,
yeah,
starting quarterback. Tennessee Titans wasn't having a great game, but he had got his ankle rolled up on. When Antonio had to get carted off. Malik Willis came in. I think in 15 dropbacks, he was sacked 4 times. So that backup quarterback coming in, not a ton of experience. You're going to definitely start to dial that gas up, and that's the Baltimore Ravens kind of style and identity. Anyway, I think Baltimore Ravens are playing good football. You want to just see them
be more consistent.
More consistent, especially offensively. Lamar Jackson could be more consistent. He's obviously a dynamic player. The last week, I think it was definitely on the receivers with all the drops. This week, I think it's a little more, whatever to go around. But you find a way to win this game. It was a time where they were fully in control, and then it was a little stretch where Tennessee had a lot of momentum going, and then the Ravens kind of took back control of this game, settled for a lot of field goals, being in the red area. If you want to be the team that the Ravens can be, they got to convert touchdowns into those red areas. But we saw it last week with the Bills going over there. It's tough to get a win in the NFL period. Definitely tough going over there with London, everything, all the other distractions you got to deal with to get a win. Baltimore obviously handled it better. They went over there earlier, got the win. Titans, once again, banged up at the quarterback position. It's a big question mark going forward.
Ugly over there.
And it's ugly over there for them for sure with the Tennessee Titans. But Ravens find a way to get another win. Kyle Hamilton got kicked out of this game. I wasn't a big fan of that. It was helmet-to-helmet contact for sure, but those plays happen so fast. And I hate to see the ejections. If it's like super malicious and maybe keeping this guy in the game will make the whole game a little more dangerous because of emotions and everything like that, I get it. But I don't think this one warranted an ejection for sure. Love him as a young player. Physical, flies around. But I think the Baltimore, hopefully we'll figure it out, get more consistent.
You said we?
I said, hopefully they figured out, get more consistent.
I'm about to say.
It sounds like AB is pushing that panic button.
Yeah, I'm
down there in Tennessee.
Slowly but surely, man. It is going in that direction. But don't try to glance over the fact that you say we. I was about to say, damn.
I ain't say we.
You ain't say we?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, for the Tennessee Titans, man, it's looking rough over there. Like you said, with the quarterback, with Tannehill getting injured. You got your playmaker in D-Hop. He's not getting targeted. He's not getting the rock. It's tempting to get really ugly over there in Tennessee, but we will see next game. One of I know we'll be saying a lot of we here.
It's always Victory Monday for me.
Somehow, some way, we got the Carolina Panthers travel down to the 305, man, to face the Miami Dolphins. At first, man, Carolina was hanging in there, man, trying to make it a game. Trying to make it a game, but then Miami did what they do for the most part, and they was able to, blow this thing out of the water with a win, 42-21. I have my thoughts on this game. I mean, Miami, they're just playing really good ball right now.
Yeah.
They're playing really good ball, both sides of the ball. We talk about the weapons that Tua has on the offensive side of the ball. So again, I think the biggest thing for them is keep the eyes on the goal and try to stay as healthy as possible. Because if this team can stay healthy, they're going to be scary coming down, November, December when it comes playoff time. You've seen it last year. Tua got injured, and it just kind of, the bottom fell out for the Miami Dolphins. So they definitely have to stay healthy. And for the Carolina Panthers, man, I'm not gonna push the panic button.
We knew what it was.
Exactly.
I knew it was gonna be coming in this season. But now, 0-6, baby. This the only winless team in the league right now, I believe. I knew it would be a struggle. Number 1 overall pick. Frank Wright first year, whole coach staff first year, but 0-6.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like you bring in, this is my thing, right? So, I always talk about, you bring in a young quarterback, make sure you have that veteran quarterback in the room where, maybe that rookie can chill. Obviously, we knew he wasn't going to sit down. They was going to throw him in the fire. But this goes along with a little bit with the Brock Purdy situation. When you're a quarterback, I don't care who you are, where you rank, you have to have talent around you for you to even have a small ounce of success on the field at the quarterback position. He has none. And I'm not shitting on anybody that's on the Panthers, but when you look around the league and you look at the quarterbacks that's playing well, they have that talent around them. The young boy doesn't really have that. So I'm not pushing the panic button, as you mentioned. Kind of expected this. Yeah, 0-6 is rough right now. I know coach is, not getting much sleep. Yeah. Right. She's probably not going to get much sleep, but this is kind of what, you expected when you talk about a young quarterback, a first-year coach, and then you look at the roster and you don't have all of the top talent around your young quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. Not a lot of talent around him. Adam Thielen, they brought him over there to be a veteran receiver, to be a kind of a safety blanket for him. He showed up. I think he's kind of, I would say him alone right now, as far as the big picture goes for that offense. The only guys pretty much showed up coaching player-wise. But yeah, they got to find a way to get some type of win, something. We can't be 0-0 whatever, because a couple weeks from now, the message gets really hard to get through to the guys in that locker room. When they start
it's already there, D-Buck.
I'm just saying, days start getting longer, colder. The message, man, you on Expedia right now looking up Cancun trips, but it's tough in Carolina. But on the flip side, like you said, health is going to be the biggest thing for this Miami Dolphins team. Obviously, we lost Devin Achane for a few weeks now. He'll be on IR. He was having an unbelievable rookie year. Still got Mostert toting that thing at the running back position. Jeff Wilson back. A lot of weapons at receiver. We look good. We look healthy. Went down 14-0 in this game and then just rattled off, I think, 35 unanswered. Tyreek Hill had an unbelievable celebration in this one, which I'm sure he'll get fined for. But yeah, we just got to stay healthy and get healthy. You mentioned November, December. Words out that Jalen Ramsey is trending in the right direction sooner than expected. So they say he's trying to get back on the field next week, getting him back, getting Jalen back as well, when our best pass rusher right now. So we'll be in good shape, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing down there in the Yayo right now. 42-21. We saw a few games on the sheet this week that should have been blowouts. We thought, the books thought. This is one of the situations where team took care of business, beat the team how they were supposed to. So shout out to my Dolphins. Fins up.
My Dolphins.
My Dolphins. Heard that one.
New Orleans at Houston. I think you had Houston. I think I picked New Orleans here. New Orleans on the road. So on the flip side here for the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
First year head coach.
Yeah.
First year quarterback. It's going a little different over there in H-Town than it is in Carolina.
Yeah, a lot different.
Again, you have some weapons, but question for you, what's the biggest difference here with Houston and Carolina? First year quarterback, first year head coach. You look at the roster, like the name's not going to jump out at you as far as, hey, this guy right here is a dog, this guy right here is a dog, or he's a top 5 at his position, he's top 5 at his position. Like, what's the biggest difference in your eyes with Houston and Carolina?
I think it's a quarterback-driven league. Number one, I always start there. I thought coming into this draft this year, C.J. Stroud was the most NFL-ready quarterback based on what I don't watch all the college snaps, but I watch him late. Based on what I saw from all these quarterbacks, I thought C.J. Stroud was QB1 in this draft, and he's playing up to that. Once again, you talked about the talent around the guy. It's some good talent around, better talent in Houston than in Carolina for sure. But at the same time, coming into this year, we weren't looking at C.J. Stroud like, hey, man, this is like Andrew Luck coming in with, Reggie Wayne, T.Y. We weren't looking at it in Houston. It was some rookies and some young guys there that C.J. Stroud is kind of bringing along with the vet Dalton Schultz. The offensive line, even through injuries, that offensive line has been playing pretty well. Got probably the best or second best left tackle in ball. Tunsil, who's gotten back in there as late, playing good ball on offense. And I think D'Amico Ryans at this point, first year as a head coach, outside looking in, he looks like a better coach. You judge a coach based on how your team comes out and performs compared to expectations. And it looks like everything is going in the right direction right now in Houston. And this was a shit show in Houston. This was, back-to-back years hiring and firing head coaches. You had a Deshaun Watson situation, the Easterby situation with Nick Caserio, the GM over there. So for him to get the head coach right, the quarterback right, and then the other guys on that defense, you got some guys that brought Steven Nelson back, Jimmy Ward. It's a lot of not quote-unquote household names, but good football players and good veterans, good young men you want in your locker room. And this Houston Texans team is going in the right direction. So for all those things I mentioned, I think that's the difference in Houston right now, who week to week they can beat anybody compared to what's going on in Carolina. But it's a big win for C.J. Stroud. It's a tough defense. So a big win for the Houston Texans to hold down their home field advantage. How do you think Houston can finish off this year? Man, it's sky's the limit for them. Obviously, them playing the way they're playing. Yeah, you saw about D'Amico Ryans, C.J. Stroud, the defense playing some solid ball in the AFC South division with our coach. You got Jacksonville. Obviously, we're gonna talk about that game here in a second. But what do you think? The Houston Texans can go this year with the way they're playing right now. Man, look, obviously we know this. It's a long year, and at some point, you expect the rookie wall to be hit, and it's going to be different challenges that D'Amico Ryans, the head coach, and C.J. Stroud, have to deal with for the first time. But based on what they're putting on tape week in and week out, man, like I said a minute ago, this team can win any game. Texans versus Lions, Niners, Eagles. If those matchups come up, I got to think about it. I got to look at different matchups. So I think they could be a playoff team. And I know it sounds crazy, especially coming into the year, but I think this Houston Texans team, obviously everybody's in the AFC South still right now. I think this Houston Texans team can definitely make a run to the playoff. What we've seen from C.J. Stroud thus far, and the talent and the guys around him, coaching staff and player-wise. And it's a coach that will never get headlines. The assistant offensive line coach, Cole Popovich. He was doing a great job in New England. They let him go during that COVID year because he was the one person on staff who didn't want to get the shot. Let him go. Lost a great coach. I think he'll be an offensive line coach somewhere soon. But we remember this game when they played the Steelers, bunch of backups, and went there and handled business, man. So I think they're doing a great job in those areas that don't get a lot of, front page news. But
No, he
shout out to
definitely
these
ain't getting no
Texans, man.
front. He definitely ain't getting no front page news as the assistant offensive line coach.
Absolutely not. He was
Yeah.
the O-line coach, but you know how the politics get.
Yeah, politics. Yeah. I got Till had a great question as far as the Saints. What the talent that they have now. You look on that paper, you say, okay, they got some dogs over there. You know what I'm saying? They got some cats that can go get it done, but it's not translating to the field. Only 13 points, and on this offensive side of the ball, you bring in Derek Carr from the Raiders this offseason. I know they have to be scratching their head, like, man, like what is it? Like only 13 points, and granted, you tip your hat off to Houston and their defense and being able to hold them to 13 points, but I would be expecting much more from this New Orleans Saints offense.
Yeah, you and me both. I picked them to run away with the NFC South this year because I looked at the quarterback situation and said, you know what, Derek Carr, he should be a good step or two ahead of the rest of the quarterbacks in this division. And it just ain't been the case. And surrounded by talent, you got an offensive play caller, Pete Carmichael, who's been there for a while. So definitely scratching my head as well, along with Jameis Winston and AK over there on the sideline. Got to figure some shit out, man. But they got to figure it out. Sooner or later, once you got a defense that's going to compete week in and week out, you got to have an offense that can put up some points. Just give me 21, 24.
21, right.
And let the defense have to look at themselves and say, all right, we gave up 27. We gave up 30 points. We lost the game. But just give us that, Derek Carr. That ain't too much to ask for a quarterback of your stature in this league.
Yeah, it's again, man, you still, early, and I would say early in the season.
Sure.
But I think this is the time where, as a team, as a coach, as a player, this is where we have to be consistent in our play. Yeah, this is where the teams start to separate themselves. The good teams, the great teams. Obviously, you might come into a week where, hey, we didn't play good this week, but for the most part, you have to start playing consistent ball to separate yourselves from the teams that aren't so good. So we will continue to see that. Going to this, before we do that, this is what we're going to do. Before we do that, shout out to FanDuel.
Yes, sir.
Sportsbook. We're going to give you this read for this week. And here you go.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That is $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get into the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/M2M Live and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Shout out my guy D-Buck, man.
Yes, sir. Holding it down. Hey, had a giveaway yesterday too on Twitter, on X. Just had to put your parlay, put your FanDuel name in there, and they're gonna pick 10 winners to give $100 in bonus bets. So keep your eyes on our Twitter pages during this season. Speaking of our Twitter, our X pages, we put our picks out every week. Every week, me and AB, we jump in there, regardless of how we did the week before. We pick every team money line against the spread. We ain't looked at the totals yet. We asked Tone to tally them up. Honestly, I'll be surprised. I don't know. I'm gonna be surprised wherever it's at right now. I put them things in. I watch the games and I just try to enjoy the game after that. But some weeks definitely rougher than others.
I'm gonna tell you now, D-Buck. Your boys, I know my record some shit. I know that for sure.
But we start heating up around like mid-season. Once teams pretty okay, this is okay. Yeah. This is who that is. That's who. Okay, bet. But we had a lot of surprises this week. Speaking of, I'm sure we'll get those games.
Nah, yeah, we're gonna run through some of these games, but definitely some surprises here. We got the Washington Commanders at Atlanta. Washington, Sam Howell and company able to go in
Yep.
ATL and get a huge win. Washington, they needed this win. Atlanta needed this win as well. These are two teams, again, when we talk about being consistent, hasn't been the most consistent here early in the season. Some spots where they play some good ball, some spots where you like, damn, scratching your head. But again, Sam Howell, Commanders being able to go on the road and get this win in Atlanta. Like it was some decent play here. Some decent play here from the Commanders. Gibson with the Commanders. He's been having a decent year.
Yeah.
Out of the backfield with the Commanders. So good game here for Sam Howell. Again, a game that they needed to win.
For sure. Good game for Sam Howell. I like almost everything Sam Howell is doing this year, especially with Eric Bieniemy dialing it up. The only thing is the negative plays, man, the sacks. Another 5 sacks, I believe, and 30 dropbacks. So he's probably, I haven't looked, but I would guarantee he's on a historic pace right now as far as getting the quarterback sack right now. So got to fix that up. Obviously, O-line is a part of that, but a quarterback is a big part of that as well. But found a way to get a win on the road, as you mentioned, needed it. Falcons coming off of Desmond Ritter's best game last week, not so good this week. Had some shots of Arthur Smith, the head coach, on the sideline, just completely like, man, what are you doing, dude? But way too many of those head scratching situations. But as you mentioned, big win for the Commanders and Sam Howell on the road going into week 7 now for them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, this one right here, this was a heartbreaker. Our Indianapolis Colts going into Duval facing the Jacksonville Jaguars going into this game. We were both tied at the top of the AFC South. Obviously, Jacksonville Jaguars now after this victory, the lone leader of the AFC South.
Yep.
AR5 again missing another game. We're gonna talk about his injury and some updates on that. Gardner Minshew has been playing well as he stepped in for AR5, but this game it was rough for Gardner, man. Back in Jacksonville, it was a rough one. Jacksonville, they started off hot. Offensive side of the ball, Trevor Lawrence and company. Travis Etienne, he was getting off. This was a tough loss, man, for us. I just think we've been playing really, really well. Defensively, we've been playing really, really well. I think even on the offensive side, like I think we found our groove. Zach Moss, he's been doing a great job toting the rock.
Yep.
The receivers been doing some good things as well. So collectively, I feel like the team was meshing together really well. This one was just it was a tough loss, man. Tough loss, Gardner. It was a tough game for him. Threw some picks. This was a tough one.
Yeah, tough loss as you mentioned, and going to Duval, going to Jacksonville for some reason, somehow, some way, we just find a way to get whooped down there. I've had my couple whoopings down there as well. It's just tough to play down there with the Colts for some reason. This game started off, kind of going back and forth, and then there was one point in the game they went down to score. Etienne scored. Next maybe 2 plays, Josh Allen comes in, strip sack. They get the ball. They come out Wildcat. Etienne scores again, and that's it. Kind of went downhill from there. We never really got that momentum back. But as you mentioned, some weapons did step up. Michael Pittman had a good game. A lot of the yards and stuff came in kind of garbage time for the offense. Yeah, but Pittman, he's showing up. He's been showing up all year. Josh Downs has been getting better week in and week out. The running back position. We expect Jonathan Taylor to get up to speed at some point soon. You mentioned Zach Moss. He's been toting it all year long. So there are some positives from, the team in the game. But you mentioned AR, our top 4 pick. We talked about C.J. Stroud. We talked about Bryce Young. Anthony Richardson is the other guy taken in the top 5 who, when he's on the field, is fantastic. But we got a tweet right here from Rap Sheet on X. The Colts may have to wait until 2024 to see more of QB Anthony Richardson. Sources say season-ending surgery is being strongly considered perhaps the best option to his shoulder long time. Now, you mentioned this type of injury
what?
for his shoulder long
Okay.
long term. Now, you mentioned this type of injury. You've had one of these before. I think you said your rookie year is kind of stalled your rookie year having that AC joint. Obviously, you were a safety and not a quarterback with his throwing arm. How do you think this this ends up playing out for our future, hopefully our future franchise quarterback, Anthony Richardson?
Man, I don't know. Again, I had the AC sprain. Obviously, some sprains are worse than others. But obviously we have to take care of the investment, right? You got to take care of our investment long term. Obviously, as a fan, as somebody that wants to see Coach do well, even they all five to come in and do well, we got to make sure he's good long term.
Yeah.
Our last top pick, we talk about that Andrew Luck. Didn't take care of him, having to deal with a lot of injuries. So if this is the best case scenario for AR5, then do it. Again, I had this injury my rookie year. I missed a month, and I ain't gonna front shit. Even now, sometimes that shit still hurt. So again, like if this is one of those things where it's the best decision for the young man, this is something that we have to do because, like you said, when he's on the field, you can see that he's a playmaker. He can lead this offense, and that's something that we need for the foreseeable future. So,
yeah.
Don't like the news if it goes that route, but if it's something that we need to do as a team, man, got to go with that.
Still got faith in Minshew going forward?
Yeah. Like again, man, I know in this time, man, it's like, and it's always been like that. What have you done for me lately? We going off your last game, and he did not have his best game yesterday. I don't know if it was him going back to Jacksonville. No excuse, no explanations. But what he's been able to do, stepping in for AR5, man, he's been playing good at the position, minus yesterday. So I still have confidence because, again, our defense has been playing good this year. I feel like our run game will continue to get better as the season progresses. Our O-line is playing well. So I still have confidence that Gardner can play the quarterback position and we can still complete the goals. And obviously the first goal is to win your division. I still think that the Colts can do that.
Okay. I'm right there with you. Talked about the division being still wide open. And I think Gardner Minshew can play good enough football to keep us in most games going forward. So still hope out there for our Colts, even if we lose, which would be really, really unfortunate if we lost our Anthony Richardson for the season. But hopefully that is the best, long-term play for him. But we shall see.
Yeah. We're going to speed through some of these games here because there's two games that we really, really, really want to get to. That San Francisco at Cleveland and that Philadelphia at New York Jets, two of the upsets this week. Definitely want to touch on those. So we're going to touch on these games. Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. Two teams stinking it up in the same division this year. Minnesota Vikings coming off some news this week from Minnesota in practice. Coach stopped practice and had some shit to say. I don't know if it was.
I don't know if that was a real.
I don't know neither, but if it was, shit, I guess it worked. You know what I mean? The Minnesota Vikings, they could go on the road in the division, get a win. I don't know how true it was, but it was some news. Again, Justin Fields dislocated his thumb, I think, in this game. Popped it back in place, wasn't able to grip the ball, so he was out. Panic button for Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings, both teams, one team.
I mean, both teams, like it's a dub for both of these teams for this year. Justin Jefferson's out for the foreseeable future. He may be on the same kind of timeline as Anthony Richardson based on where these Vikings will be once he gets healthy. But he's out. Justin Fields has been looking better at this point in the season. So I hate to see him go down with his thumb injury. But like you said, both of these teams are stinking it up right now. So we'll move on. Good job by the Vikings getting a win.
Seattle at my Cincinnati Bengals. Again, I think Cincinnati, Joe Burrow and company, they're, tracking in the right direction. Started the season, it was looking a little rough there. But they start to still, I think it's still some room for improvement there, but they're still starting to get their wins. Seattle, Geno Smith and company. DK, man, I got something like DK, man. DK, this shit that he does, man. When the DB's not.
I don't like it, man. It looked like I ain't gonna say it yet.
Nah, say that, D-Buck.
It looked like something. I gotta.
Man, say that, man.
No. We gonna get to it. I don't like to just jump out there and say what something looked like to me, but
bro, this ain't the
smell
first.
Like a duck, walk like a duck. Like, no,
Bruh,
we gotta stop. Ain't no place in the league for the bullshit he be pulling though.
This ain't the first time. This ain't the second time.
Nah.
Like, shit, how many times somebody gotta do some coward shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get
sure.
Yeah, that's some sucker shit, bro. Like, I get you being in the heat of the moment. I get, you going at it with a guy or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, it is a brotherhood. We all want to, at the end of the game, dap each other up, go in the locker room and see our families. You know what I'm saying? Without having to walk out with a boot on, without having to go in that tent. But the shit he be doing, bro. And again, like I said, this is not the first time or second time.
So he is at this point.
Yeah, man. Like,
Hey, you too swole for that too. Like you too swole. If you're gonna be a bully, all right, be a bully. All right, do something, get into it with somebody in their face and do it. But like the whole little side sneaking, push the dudes in the back, like just tweaking out. Like, nah, you got to cut that shit out, DK.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I don't know what it is, but that's for the birds, man.
Yeah.
That's for the birds.
But your Bengals find a way to get a win, even though it wasn't great. Geno had opportunities late. Bengals find a way to get another win, like you said. Joe Burrow, he looks good. He looks healthy. Jamar Chase coming off a huge, game last week. Didn't have a big game this week, but did enough to get the win. T. Higgins was back in there, so good shit for your Bengals finding a way to get another dub.
Yes, sir. That's all that matters. Get a dub, man. Keep it moving. One of the big upsets this weekend, San Francisco going into Cleveland undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
They catch an L by the Cleveland Browns, 19-17. For San Francisco, again, no excuse, no explanations. Some of their big dogs got hurt. C-Mac, Debo Samuel, Trent Williams at the end of the game was in the boot. But then even on the Cleveland side, they were out. Deshaun Watson, I think Conklin was out. I think they had some guys that was out. So, again, here, no excuses, no explanations.
Fact.
Jim Schwartz in this defense, man. We talked about him early in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it that they played and they had a good performance against?
Shit, everybody.
Yeah, but it was
they started off the season with the Bengals. I think Joe Burrow.
Yeah, so it was the Bengals. It was the Bengals. And a note, right? Jim Schwartz as a head coach or D coordinator against Shanahan teams. What do you think his record is?
I'm gonna go 8 or 9-1.
Did you see this, D-Buck?
I sure did.
8-1. Jim Schwartz.
It's impressive.
Hey, that's very, very, very impressive, man. This defense being able to hold this San Francisco offense to 17 points. This offense been scoring 30 plus all year. I gotta tip my hat off to Cleveland, man. And then, with Deshaun Watson being out, what's the young boy name? Come in and
PJ Walker.
PJ Walker, PJ Walker come in and able to get a win for his mob.
Yeah. And it started with the defense. A lot of people had looked at the teams they had played earlier this year and said, great numbers. I mean, because the numbers are ridiculously good. So some people can look at that and attribute it to the offenses that they faced. But this Jim Schwartz defense, man, they fly around. They're versatile. They're aggressive. You can tell just by watching the tape that they love playing for each other. They love playing for their coach. And they set the tone from jump. Myles Garrett, you mentioned Trent Williams been banged up. He got hurt, got rolled up on, didn't look great, came back and continued to play. He's a dog. But I was watching that matchup, as much as possible, Garrett and Williams. And them dudes, man, it starts up front with every defense. And this Cleveland Browns defense is violent, and they can win, especially if Deshaun Watson is back. And his last full game healthy was his best game of the season. If he can play that type of ball going forward, Amari Cooper, he went off and had another a special performance. So I think this team, once again, can go on a run. Now they're in the division, a tough division. Bengals are finding their footing. The Ravens, I don't think they're playing their best ball yet. So this division, this AFC North is going to play out. I think it's going to play out well. But Brock Purdy, I'm still confident in him as a quarterback. Put his team in position to win late against this defense. Rookie kicker missed a 41-yard field goal. Going to have to make some adjustments, obviously, offensively, if C-Mac is out for an extended period of time. He's such a big part of that offense, as is Deebo Samuel, but I think it all starts with 23. So Kyle Shanahan's going to have to make some adjustments, and we'll see. We're going to have to see more of Brock Purdy being special, going forward. It's going to get tougher for sure.
Nah, for sure. But then I don't think you're going to see too many defenses like the Cleveland Browns defense either. So, I know that's different too. But I'm with you. I think Brock Purdy, he still can go. I know, Shannon Sharp had some words as far as him being a system quarterback. I know you said some things as well as far as that sentiment as far as being a system quarterback. Shit. And he talking about, he has this weapon here. Shit. Yeah. Name me a good quarterback in the history of football that didn't have good weapons.
Boom.
You know what I mean? Like that's part of the game. You know what I mean? Shit. Pretty sure if Bryce Young has some weapons over there, I feel like, the outlook that we have on him right now, these first 6 weeks will be different. So yeah, every quarterback wants to have weapons. But again, shout out to Cleveland Browns. Huge win. We both defensive guys, man. So we love when we see good defense being played, holding that high-powered offense to 17 points, man. Shout out to them. And before we get out of here, we'll go to the next game. The Browns have given up 1,002 yards through 5 games. That is the fewest any NFL team has given up through the first 5 games in over 50 years.
That's crazy, especially with all of the rule changes and everything, the protections of quarterbacks and receivers and everything with the NFL to be making hitting these type of numbers, making these type of records in the 2023 NFL football season. Extremely impressive. And that guy right there, Myles Garrett, has a lot to do with it. But collectively, the guys in the back end, once again, not a bunch of household names. Emerson, Newsome, Delpit, Ward, like Anthony Walker on the second level, just a lot of guys flying around playing good team defense. And as you mentioned, as 2 former defensive players, we absolutely love to see it.
Yes, sir. Moving on, we're gonna fly through these. New England at Las Vegas. Las Vegas get a dub, 21-17. Jimmy G taken to the hospital in an ambulance to figure out, what that injury is all about. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries in his career. Shout out to my young boy, Jabril Peppers, man. Put a big hit on Devontae Adams, popped the ball up, man. Shout out to Jabril. But, here again, New England having a ugly year. Panic button on one of D-But's old or former teams. Hit the panic button for them. Bill Belichick, they can't get that shit right over there.
Yeah, it's ugly over there. Mac Jones had some ugly plays once again this game. Had a nice ball late, damn near out of his own end zone to Devontae Parker, which he dropped. It was a beautiful ball down the sideline. Would have kind of put him in almost field goal range, maybe have been 10, 15 yards short of it. But then maybe a play. 2 plays there because the next play, false start. Next play, Max Crosby, safety, got a sack and ended this game. The Condor out there in Vegas. He's an absolute monster coming off that edge. So shout out to the Raiders finding a way. I believe this is back-to-back weeks. They
got a dub.
Stacked 2 wins. Yep. Raiders, man.
Detroit Lions, the new Detroit Lions at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting another win. That's all they doing is stacking the wins this year. 20-6. Coming up here soon, you will see ABs and DBs new Power 5 rankings.
Yep.
No spoiler alert. I think Detroit is in both of ours. But Detroit, man, consistently playing some really, really good ball. We talk about it all the time. Former players on that coaching staff, they're well coached. You can just tell when they believe, just the style of play, the brand of football that they put out there on the film. So, nothing against, Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield and them, but Detroit Lions coming out playing some good brand of football and getting a dub.
Yeah, found a way to get a win. Didn't play this game offensively, probably how they wanted to game plan wise. As far as running the ball, I know Montgomery got banged up early. Jahmyr Gibbs was out coming into this game. But the young boy Jameson Williams made a big play down the field. Golf through for like over 340, I think. Found a way to get a two-score win in the NFL is tough to do, especially against a good football team coming off a bye week. So great job on both sides of the ball in Detroit. Brand new Lions, man. Right now, tied for the best record in the league right now. 4 wins in a row, sitting at 5-1. This is unheard of in my lifetime, watching the Detroit Lions play football the way that they're playing week in and week out. And they're built. We always talk about teams, built for like November, December, January. This defense, this offense, this team is built for a late run. So I'm very interested. And I think everybody watching the league right now is very interested in how this Detroit Lions will continue to evolve as the season goes on. And disappointing loss for the Bucs too. Disappointing loss, come out and put 6 points up after having a bye week. So I'm sure they'll get their shit together on that side of things. But shout out to the Lions, the brand new Lions. Get another dub.
Arizona at the Rams, divisional matchup. Rams handle business 26-9. I really want to kind of get through this. D-Buff, you got any comments on this game?
Good job, Rams.
There you go. Big upset here. Philadelphia Eagles, another undefeated team coming into this week. New York Jets. Obviously, we talk a lot about the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers coming in early in the season. Aaron Rodgers getting hurt. Zach Wilson not playing so well last week. Decent game. This week, another decent game. Defense. New York Jets defense flew around all levels in the front, in the trenches, on the second level, on the third level. DBs flying around, filling the alleys, man. Very, very physical game. So, good job by the Jets. Philly, there were some things out there that was just kind of concerning. A lot of people been talking about Jalen Hurts, and he's not been kind of playing how he played last year. Mm-hmm. Coming off this L, are you concerned with Philly, with Jalen Hurts? And also, it's 3 questions. And also with the Jets, I know this gives Zach Wilson a lot of confidence. I just think that's what the young man needed. He needed his confidence. But I think, New York Jets might have found a formula for their success if Aaron Rodgers get back, and we can talk about him too. This shit crazy.
Man, we got that video. That's crazy, that recovery. But speaking of the guys out there playing, Zach Wilson, as you mentioned, another win. And like you said, confidence, just confidence in himself, then confidence in their locker room to say, hey, we can go out and find a way to get a win with Zach Wilson as our quarterback. Breece Hall, obviously, he's got to be a game changer week in and week out. But this defense, man, has been elite. And I think 3 interceptions, 3 turnovers for Jalen Hurts, which you don't want to see from your quarterback ever. But the Jets came into this game, no Sauce Gardner, no DJ Reed, and I believe Michael Jackson. The third corner was down too as well. So your top 3 corners down. We know as former secondary members, that's tough. That changes the game plan usually. Like, hey, we got to keep it too hot. We got to do this. We got to do that. But for the Jets to come out and just rally the troops and still play this defense and hold this offense to 14 points, a tremendous job by this defense once again. And they've been through the gauntlet with the quarterbacks that they've had to play week in and week out after losing Aaron Rodgers, and they've been up to the task pretty much every week. So huge win for this team, for this fan base, and for this locker room.
Yeah, and speaking of A-Rod, we got a video of him throwing the rock.
Yeah, this is crazy.
No crowd. This is what, 5 weeks?
This is Yeah, I mean, what was that? Week 1, September
This
11th.
week one?
September
Yeah.
11th. So I think this was 34 days removed from rupturing an Achilles. And I've never did it, thank God. But I've had a few teammates or friends or whatever I've seen do it. And for the longest, I feel forever, they was on these scooters, immobilized, couldn't walk on it, crutches, boot. And you just see this evolution over weeks and weeks and months and months. So to see this pretty much after a month and a week, I mean, it's incredible right now what's going on his recovery journey with this Achilles, man. What's your thoughts on him? And is there a chance that this guy actually comes back this season and plays football?
I mean, when I first heard it, was like, okay, Aaron Rodgers think he can get back from Achilles injury at the end of the season. I'm like, there's no way in hell he's coming back from an Achilles injury. But you know, what he's showing us right now is like it's a possibility. Like, because again, nobody, like you said, like nobody who's ever endured an Achilles injury has been doing the things that he's been doing in this time frame. So obviously, you know, money talks. You know, you can see different doctors, and you know the way you just take care of your body, and just the way, you know, different people, their body react differently to different things. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to, you know, A-Rod and his team for even getting him to this part where he can be doing the things that he's doing. But I mean, by the looks of it, D-But, it's a possibility.
Hey, if Zach Wilson and his defense can keep him in it, shoot, 6 weeks down the line, we'll be looking at week like 13, week 12. I don't know. A lot of season, a lot of ball left to be played, obviously, and you know, everybody's recovery journey is different. But man, hey, wherever he at, I think it's out in LA. I'm sure that I know J.K. Dobbins is out there recovering, rehabbing with him. But that will definitely become the place where whoever big time athlete, you going there.
They just made themselves some money, boy. They just made them some money for sure. And before we move on, we're gonna talk about the Eagles and their upcoming schedule. They got the Dolphins. They're home versus the Dolphins, at the Commanders, home with the Cowboys, at Chiefs, home with the Bills and Niners, and then at Cowboys. So the Philadelphia Eagles, man, this next 7 weeks, they playing against some really good teams, some decent teams. So they'll have to figure out, you know, coming off this loss, you know, where they're gonna go. But again, not gonna hit the panic button with the Philadelphia Eagles right now, sitting at 5-1. Again, one of the best records in the NFL, but
one loss
got to come to play these next couple of weeks.
Absolutely got to fix whatever situation you got going on. I know I saw some reports post game locker room. There's a lot of the leaders speaking up to the team. I think Jalen Hurts, Kelsey, AJ Brown, and some other guys. So I lose no faith in one of my squads, my Philadelphia Eagles, led by Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, Jason Kelsey, and Cole. I think there will be okay going forward. That game last night, though, that's the last one, I think, from this Sunday slate, NFL. He had a Sunday night football. Another big, I think this is what, a 14.5 point spread. This is probably the biggest underdog coming into this game. Giants, you know, tricked off some points right before the half. Our guy, man-to-man alum, Tyrod Taylor, had his team in it. Pretty much this whole game came down to the last play. Teron Johnson on Darren Waller. Bang, bang play.
Shit ain't no bang, bang play.
Last down. Was it untimed or was it still 1 second on the clock? I think it was an untimed down.
I think it was an untimed down. They had
AB, you done been in this situation before. Almost like a 4th down or like a whatever situation, money on the line. You know the ref's gonna let you play. They not calling this, especially after calling the PI to play before. Nowhere in hell, unless it's just you would tackle the guy and it's egregious. No way they calling this, throwing the flag right here in this situation. I think a good job. Good job by the refs staying out of this one. Let the big boys handle it on the field. What's your thoughts on this one, AB?
I have been in this situation, and if I'm Johnson, I'm not mad at him. You know, you got to do what you got to do. You know, you feel as though, hey, they're gonna go to Waller. Well, it's gonna be Saquon or Waller, you know. So
Yep.
if you guard them, hey, look, I gotta scratch, I gotta claw. Even if they do call this penalty, hey, guess what? We can line up again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at Johnson the way he played, but you look at this. Waller can't even get his left hand up like this. He can't even get his left arm up. You know, and he was holding Waller. As soon as he came off the line of scrimmage, he was grabbing, he was clawing. So, in one aspect, I respect the refs as far as, okay, I'm going to let these guys play. But this is a huge play. Like, you know, Waller wasn't able to get that left hand like up to see if he can even, you know, catch the rock. I think the refs, you gotta call that. Like
you gotta get him off you, Waller. You gotta get him off you, man. That's Brunk, that's Kelsey, that's Mark Andrews.
They getting that flag.
Tony Gonzalez.
They getting that flag.
Shannon Sharp wanted, hey, get off me.
Nah, man. The refs, you gotta call that, man. You gotta call that. I feel where you coming from, DB. You know, last play of the game, you don't want the refs dictating where it goes, but I just think with this one, man, like, and just watching it, like, it's from the start of the play, like not even in the middle of the play or the end of the play, but I'm talking about from the start of the play. He like one step in the end zone and Johnson holding him.
So it wasn't bang bang. It wasn't bang bang.
Nah, that shit won't bang bang. I can see it, you know, Johnson. He running the ball in the air, and you know they both collide or whatever. But this shit right here, like you look at the top picture, he's holding. You don't even see the ball in the picture. The bottom picture, he grabbing, he holding, he know the ball is coming. You still don't see the ball in. Well, I guess you see a little bit at the top, but I think you got to call that.
Yeah, you got to understand the back judge is gonna make this call. So that back judge is behind Waller. So does he even see that real pull down from the right hand? So to your point, great job by Teron Johnson. Make him throw the flag. Make him line up again and move it half the distance to the goal line, which would have been a half a yard. And then they got to figure out that way. But as a DB, you don't go out with him catching that ball uncontested in the back of the end zone, especially with it being Darren Waller. They threw the flag on the play before. You hooked me up to a lie detector test, and you asked me, was this defensive holding or PI? I would say yes. But the point is, I don't think the refs are going to call it unless they're damn near forced into calling it, you know, after especially throwing the flag on the previous play. But it is what it is, man. The Bills found a way to scratch and claw and I guess make one more play than the New York Giants did. Some big clock. When we see it week in, week out, college, pros, just coaches and quarterbacks not handling these clock situations. And as being former players, you 14 years in the league, me 9 years, we sat through countless meetings with defenses, offenses, and special teams going over different clock situations. We practice them, but it's just something about executing them, you know, on the brightest stage when you're actually out there doing it. And play calling struggles. See, you got it up here. I don't know what that face is. Mike Kafka, Brian Daboll. There's been some big time issues going on there. What you think the answer is for this New York Giants team? And I know he's our 757 legend, man-to-man alum, so we may have some bias here. But is this team better going forward with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback?
Because
I think so. I think it is. I think he's the better quarterback with what's around him, this offensive line, the weapons.
So
first week as a starter, but yeah, if I'm going forward, I'm going forward with two. I know they paid Daniel Jones, so it's probably not realistic, but
yeah, I definitely don't think it's realistic. And then also, Ty's my guy, you know, like you said, 757. And he played well, had him in the game. But I will say this, right? I will say, give me, let me see Daniel Jones, the way this defense played last night and the way, you know, having Saquon back, and let me see a game with Daniel Jones. But like to your point, Ty balled last night. Obviously, it was a questionable play call at the end of the first half. Yeah. I'm not sure what was said between him and coach. You know, Brian Daboll didn't look happy, but again, Ty going into this is what year 13 for him.
Been around.
Yeah, year 13. He's a veteran. He knows what, you know, what you put in front of him as far as the defense. He's seen it. He can still move around with his legs, effectively. So again, I think this is a decent situation for the New York Giants that, you pay Daniel Jones all that bread. So obviously they want to have him out there. But if they do decide to go with T2, shit, they know they got a pro's pro at the position that can get it done.
Yeah, and they put up 9 points. So I'm not saying here like, he went out and put up 40 points and but if you've been watching this Giants team all year long, and for this to be, I think, Tyrod's first start, right? He came in.
Came in a few games,
yeah, came in, but I think this is his first start this season, and just where how they looked. And this Buffalo Bills is a good defense. Been a good defense all year long, missing some big time players with Daquan Jones, Tre'Davious White out for the year, Matt Milano out for the year, but still a very good defense that Sean McDermott calls and runs over there. So we shall see how it plays out with the New York Giants. It's been looking ugly all year long, not living up to the expectations that they had coming into this season. Saquon being back didn't really get going, but hopefully that changes going forward. We'll see if you hitting the panic button on the Giants yet, or you still think it's time for them to turn things around?
Oh, panic button. Panic button.
All right. There it is.
Hey. Tonight's game, Dallas Cowboys at your Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
FanDuel, again, our presenting sponsor.
Yeah.
Kind of a pick'em game here. You got Dallas favored by 1.5 points. Dallas coming off a ugly week last week. We really don't know what we're gonna get out of your Chargers, honestly, week in and week out.
Yeah, we do. We know.
So, who you got tonight?
Give me I like the Chargers plus 1.5. But give them straight up. Chargers straight up plus 110 on your money. And I like the over here. I like the over now. Matchup within the matchup. These coaches very familiar with each other. Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn, a couple seasons in the same building. Same practices, training camps, etc. No different tendencies, different personnel things. So I think it'll be a good matchup for sure. And then Mike McCarthy, so you fired Kellen Moore, you moved on, you took over play calling duties. So hey, coaches got egos too. Coaches take it personal too. So I think the Chargers will come out with a pretty good game plan to try to put up. And that's the goal every week, put up a bunch of points. But I like the Chargers. I like the Chargers tonight, and I like the over, which is at 50.5 right now on FanDuel Sportsbook.
Okay.
Which way you going on this one?
Man, I think I'm it's tough, man. It was a stinker last week for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't think Dak gonna come back out and stink it up again. But I think I'm gonna go with your Chargers.
Yeah, good. Hey, good decision.
I'm gonna go with your Chargers. You obviously see I wasn't too confident on that pick.
I am.
But I think I'm gonna go with your Chargers, man. I'm gonna go with your Chargers.
All right,
don't let me down, man.
I think Malik Hooker gets a pick tonight too, though. But same game parlay tonight. At least 7 receptions for Keenan Allen, target number 1, wide receiver 1 out there with the Chargers. Herbert, at least 2 passing touchdowns. Keenan Allen, 80 yards. And then Tony Pollard, I think he gets at least 60 yards. So 60 yards for Pollard, 80 yards for Keenan Allen, 7 catches for Keenan Allen, and 2 touchdown passes for Justin Herbert. That'll be on the FanDuel Sportsbooks app, website, or whatever. That'll be tonight, same game parlay for Monday Night Football, which will wrap up Week 6. Another great week of football, man. Any given Sunday, your team or one of my teams can take an L or get a big win over big dog, man. But another great week of football, man. College football, pro football. We in the good times right now, man.
For sure. Before we get out of here, we got a couple more things to touch on real quick.
All right.
We talked about our records up to this point. Woo! Okay.
Not as bad. Not as bad
as I thought. Not as bad as I thought. Okay, AB. I'm 52-40 against the money line, 47-43-2 against the spread. Oh man, I feel good. And DB, your record?
Yeah, 62-30 money line, 45-45-2 against the spread. So even. We even. Well, I'm even right now. You winning right now. You in the green right now against ATS, which is the important line for sure.
Man,
but
okay. I thought my joint was some shit. Oh, we
Hey.
get money, man. Power rankings this week, man. We're gonna start off with D-Buck.
Let's go this week. Miami Dolphins back to the top, baby. With they moved up 2 spots from last week. There were 3 last week. Now they are back at number 1, the number 1 team in the NFL right now. Philadelphia Eagles. I had them at 2. I think so. I don't know if I had them at 2, but I think we're gonna leave them at 2 right now. For Philadelphia Eagles still at 2. I still think they figured things out. Tough defense of the Jets. Got to take care of the football, Jalen Hurts. But I think they're fine. They find their footing going forward after their first loss of the season. Kansas City Chiefs found a way to get an ugly win on Thursday night. They move back up. They are in the top 5 at number 3. San Francisco 49ers, long fall from the top. They drop down 3 spots down to number 4 after an upset loss to the Cleveland Browns. And Detroit Lions are standing pat at the number 5, sitting at 5-1, having a great season right now under Dan Quinn. So Miami Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers, and the Detroit Lions. AB, let's see your list.
Yes, sir. I got the Miami Dolphins at number 1 as well. They're playing some really good ball offensively and defensively. Philadelphia Eagles sitting at 2, just like last week. And San Francisco 49ers dropping 2 spots for me again, coming off their first loss of this season, and also big injuries, Deebo Samuel and C-Mac. So we see what happens there. And then my last 2, Kansas City Chiefs, they sticking right there in that same spot from last week at number 4. And then the new Detroit Lions rounds up my power rankings for this week at number 5. So there you have it: Miami Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the new Detroit Lions.
Yes, sir.
New Detroit Lions. And before we get out of here, it was a wild weekend. I know
we had Oregon, Washington. We had
Stanford and Colorado.
Stanford, Colorado. That was crazy. I fell asleep. Colorado was up 29-0. I thought it was over with.
Game day,
college game day.
College game day, D-Buck and company and Pat McAfee go out there. Pat McAfee bringing some new energy to the show, man. He brings some new energy to the show, and I know that some of the old heads, I think they trying to keep up with him. But sometimes, man, you gotta stay in your lane. And
what we got, man?
Hey, again, shout out to Cameron, shout out to Mace. It is what it is, and they big on the pause as a grown man. You gotta watch what you say. So y'all keep this.
Big Phoenix energy. He's gonna bring that big Phoenix energy. He's gonna bring that big Phoenix energy.
Hey, man.
Yo.
Bro.
First of all, what was he listening to? Because I was trying to get on. Yeah. Hey, what was he listening to, my man? When he was stiff,
bro. Where this from, man? God, hey, like you said, you got to stay in your lane, man. Obviously, Pat brings great energy. The college game, the ratings have been through the roof all year long. It was a great environment out there. Washington, huge game. Washington, Oregon. Michael Penix Jr. Is looking like, I think now probably the betting favorite for the Heisman. Lefty's absolute dog. So it was a lot of energy out there. It was early in the morning. And I don't know if that's even a saying, but Dez tried to make it a cheer. It was just bad all around, man. That was one of the things you get secondhand embarrassment from. Like what the fuck is Brian doing?
Like what? I know the producers was like, hold on, like.
But Pat said, I've been pronouncing his name wrong this whole time.
Yo, that's
hey, Dez, don't ever do no shit like that again, bro.
Ever.
Please, OG, please.
He thought he had some though. He thought he had some. Oh, I'm gonna kill y'all with this shit. Ooh. Hey, as always, man, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate the support. Again, man, y'all hit that smash button. Y'all hit that like button.
Yes, sir.
You know, follow us on IG, on X, Man Pops, Darius Butler, myself, AB, Antoine Bethea. We love y'all. We appreciate the support. Next Monday, same place, same time.
Yes, sir. Get your 30 minutes in.
Facts. Got to get your 30 minutes in. We gone.
Go.
Man to man, yeah, we talking. Man to man, they can't guard me. Man to man, they don't wanna see us. Man to man, they don't know how to beat us. Man to man, 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 yeah, man. Must be the struggle that's in me, that's why I want it so bad. Must be the hustler in me that keep my foot on the gas. When you got it from nothing and hard times ain't so bad, just know I'm coming for everything that they said I couldn't have. I put my life inside it, yeah, I kept it solid. Yeah, I played the field, that's how I feel about it. We put numbers on the board, we always up the score. Yeah, we stuck to the plan and never ran. Now they can't see us. Man, yeah, we talking. Man to man, they can't guard me. Man to man, they don't wanna see us. Man to man, they don't know how to beat us. Man to man, man to man, man to man.
Any way we can get it, baby. Any way we can get it.
Man, y'all see I got the crew. Y'all say what's up? Hey man, y'all have a good Monday, man. We gone.